Wellity, wellity, wellity. Hello. Ooh. Well, that was a blast and a half in the arse. I did a 24-hour comic. Do you want to see it? Do you want to have a look? Do you want to have a look at my 24-hour comic? Frankly, I don't know about you, but I'm really happy with it. 6th September, my birthday, 10 a.m. I started, and I finished 10 a.m. the next day. It went a lot smoother than I expected. I know last week I did a practice run, and the whole way through I was like, oh fuck, this is shit, this is taking too long, I'm gonna fucking fail, I'm not gonna do it, what's gonna happen to me, I'm gonna be a laughing stock, I'm gonna be a whole entire stock of laughing, a warehouse full of stock, and every item of that stock is gonna be people laughing at me. I'm gonna be a laughing stock. But actually it went really well. Some pages only took like half an hour. It got to the half-hour point and I was like, I'm basically done. A few more bits of hatching here and there, but whatever. And then that allowed me time to, eat, touch my penis a bit while looking at some porn. And then, the next hour started. Quick, finish. And then onto the next page. And then certain pages took longer, but only a couple really, and that I had plenty of time to do them. I didn't feel stressed the entire time. I felt tired for a couple of hours, sort of towards the end, but maybe between 5 and 7 in the morning, of the next day. I was feeling every line was like, oh fucking hell, this is long. But then I got past that and I got towards the end and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fucking easy. We're okay. So it's a gun Viking tale, a one-shot gun Viking tale, which parts of it I think I would have liked to have made a bit longer, but I sort of condensed it all into the 24 pages. I'm happy with it. So we open with gun Viking blasting away. Blah 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 blam. Nice big crotch in the front. Gunny guns. So even that page took less than an hour. Some pages like that, where it's just how long does it really take me to draw one gun Viking? I've drawn him so many times. It doesn't take that long at all. And then he's shooting at this big Cyclops guy. Plom, plef, pluff, pluff. Not really doing much to him. And there he is, he's like, and he's like, He's got his club up ready, and then smack! Hits gun Viking, he flies away and then goes poof into the ground, and there's a puff of dust as he goes head first into the ground. And then he's pulling himself up, huff, huff, huff. He looks over his shoulder, gets his gun, bang, bang, poof, pleh, pleh, boo. Not really doing anything to him. It's sort of hitting him, but he's unharmed. He's quite enjoying it almost. He's running at him, running and gunning, pa 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 pa. And then he looks up as he sees this giant Cyclops, giant foot come down. He's in shadow, and then ba-doom! And then blackness. And then this face comes out of the darkness. What is it? Some child, some young girl. What the fuck's going on? He's on the floor laying down, looking up with the feet there. And he rolls over and he's like, ugh. And then the kid's got a hand on his head, like, no. Little Viking guy, bless him. So she's taking him for a walk past some goats, and as she points, look, that's where we're going, to the village. Oh, there's a frog. See, I surprised myself with even having time to put in the goats and a frog, because I didn't want it to be just a really quick, basic comic, because it is going to be somewhat different from a standard gun Viking comic, but I wanted to keep the gun Viking feeling, and I think I've done that pretty well, with silly little bits like this, the goats and the frog and stuff. So he's in the village, he walks to the village, and all the people are there. This guy's taking his cat for a walk, that's funny. He's holding something. And this chick is there putting her hand on his chest. Big Viking man in the peasant village. And then he looks up like, oh, what's this? He sees this guy. And he's like, hey, come this way, fella. He's like the town elder or whatever. And I have done... I think the story works without speech bubbles. I think, bar a few details, it's more or less clear what's happening, which is the point, isn't it? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to tell the story through the pictures. And the words are there to add flavour. So here, there's some words. He's explaining the Cyclops guy, the one-eyed giant, is a terror. He's been terrorising us for decades and decades. And you've seen his power. He absorbs attacks. He's near invincible. But where you have failed now, next time you won't. You should talk to our shaman. And then you see the tent in the background there. Got these skulls on the walls and stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm glad I was able to put those details in. It just gives it a little bit more life. Because in some parts, the backgrounds are just sparse because it's like, I don't have time to fucking bother with backgrounds. But in some places, I got some in there, so that's good. So these are the shaman's hand. He's saying the animal bones will tell us what's up as he's dropping animal bones into the ground. And he's saying, blah, 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 you've got power, but you need more power. The bones will tell us. Look in the bones. And he looks in the bones and he's like, what? What are you talking about, the bones? Fucking weirdo. And he's like, here's where you need to be. Draws a circle in the dirt around this bone. And he explains, there's this great power. A witch lives atop the needle. And you've got to climb the needle and find her to gain your power. And in here, I think it's here, he says, you're here for a reason. That's very important. He says, you're here for a reason. And he's like, okay. Here's where you have to go. There's this witch, top of the needle, climb it. And then this elder shows back up and he's like, hey, you're ready to go, pal. We'll send you on your way. We've got supplies for you for the journey there and back. We've got a map, big fucking map to help you go. Look, there's a creature there. There's an alligator treasure chest. You could find so many things. So he's all packed up with his gear. Got food for him, a map, hand that to him. And then he says, like, safe travels, Odin be with ye, or something, like a cat. And the people are all like, oh, good luck. Good fucking luck, man. And these were quite fun to do. Look, he's climbing on some rocks, some big rock things. He's riding a boar through some brush, through a forest, a wooded area. Here he's walking through a windy, billowy snowscape. He's got like a shawl or a poncho or something on to keep him a bit warmer. And then he's walking away from some goblin fuckers he's killed with blood and shit on the floor. So that's his travels. I don't know if I pointed out what was actually going on here. Yeah, he's taken into this hut. And he has like chicks cleaning him, wrapping his wounds up, bandaging him. He's got his feet in a hot water bowl and stuff. So they're taking care of him. They're like, come on, Viking, you're doing good. You're powerful, you're strong. We'll help you out. We'll send you on your way to become more powerful and more strong. So after his travels, I quite like that. I think in the printed version, because I'm going to get it printed, I don't think that's a double page spread. I don't think it works out that way. I think it will be like this. But even so, I'm really happy with those pages and panels. So he reaches the needle. He looks up and it's going up into the clouds. And then he's got this pickaxe or something. And he clanks it into the rock. And he's climbing up. I really like that pose. I'm really happy with that. He's got like the other one in his hand. And he's climbing up the needle. I'm not sure how clear this one is, but it's whatever. So there's a big hole in towards the top of the needle. He's coming through the clouds as he's climbing up. Hangs onto the edge of it, pulls himself up and in. And he's in there, in the darkness. And these are the pages that took a bit longer, just colouring in all the black. But also trying to keep neat and tidy around the edges, not just fucking scribble everywhere. So that's where the time went in these pages. So he's in there, he's in the needle, and he's like, okay, hands on his hips, what's going on? But there's something in there, some kind of weird spider creature that sees him there with his shadow cast. Coming up behind him, big claws, oh no, what's going to happen? He's like, what's that? Got my gun. See your face. Pew! Gun in the face of this thing. And this is the witch, this weird spidery spider witch. And she's like, I've been expecting you. Your coming's been foretold. You're powerful, Viking, but you could be more powerful. And she keeps like switching around, like above him, behind him, below him, on top of him. And then, so she's saying, you're powerful, but you could be more, or you need to be more powerful. You're seeking something. I have the answers. And then here she says, you're here for a reason. And here he says, yeah, so I hear. See? I keep it funny, yeah? Keep it funny. She's like, this way, please, follow me. I love drawing them like this. Just blocky, silly, basic little people. Plunge your hands into the vessel and draw your strength. So he's got to put his hands into this cauldron thing. So he does that, and these spiders are on him, and he's like, what's going on? And then he's like, as his arms go all black and veiny. Like some of the porn I watch. That was an easy one. Weird faces. Good. What's happening? It's like some kind of acid trip or something. And then she says something like, try not to control the power and be careful not to let the power control you. And he goes, I don't feel anything. And she's like, yeah, you won't yet, but when the time comes, you will. Now, go! And she boots him out the hole of the needle. I quite like that one as well. So he's flying away. And then suddenly, we're back in action. Bang, bang, bang. Dual wielding like a motherfucker. Big Cyclops punches. Check out that fucking panel formation, man. Bang, bang, bang. Whoa. Punches him with his big, giant Cyclops arm. And he's out. Look at his bum there. He's out for the count. Gets up. Again, similar. It's almost a repeat of the beginning of the comic. And he's gritting his teeth. He's grrr. The big eye looking over him. Grrr. He's getting his power. Grrr. The big hand comes to get him. And it swipes him up. And he's like, ugh, and drops him into his mouth. And he's falling into the blackness. And he's like, yeah, you fucker, I ate you. And then he's like, oh, big swollen mouth. His teeth are flying out. It's like, oh, fuck, what happened? It's what everyone's been waiting for. It's what you've all wanted to see for so long. Oh my fucking god. For I'm gone Viking. Wow. That was a good one as well. I mean, that's one picture of Gun Viking with a bunch of shit around it. That took almost no time. Probably 20 minutes or something. 25, 30 minutes to draw that. And then I kept being like, I can see I kind of started here. I was like, do more hatching. Do I do like loads of shading because I've got the time? But I was like, no, leave it. Keep it consistent, like looking like a consistent style kind of throughout the comic. So I did that. And it's these brush pens which I used previously, which I bought a box of 6 of these because, as did happen, I used a few of these because they don't keep their fine point very well, these brushes. So they're good for a bit of doing a few bits of fine detail, and then they become good for filling in large spaces of black. And they also have this, which is quite good for doing like a few lines and some hatching and stuff. And then I used ballpoint for like this hatching here and some Tipex and stuff. So, Forearm Gun Viking, ready to go, in action. Fucking yes! Click, clack, clack, click. 4 guns. What the fuck? Pa, 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 pa. All the shells as he's shooting and shooting and shooting. You can see 1 gun, 2 gun, 3 guns, 4 guns. Pa, 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 pa. I'm really happy with this one. I really like this panel a lot. I think the whole thing would be fun to paint. I would like to paint all of it, but it would take so long. Or would it? I guess we might find out. But yeah, I really like this panel. And then he's shooting at the Cyclops giant thing, and he's like filling him full of so many holes. 2 guns wasn't enough. 4 seems to do the trick. Shoots his head off, his arm comes off, all these holes and blood. Sizzle, sizzle, hiss. All the smoking gun barrels. Really like this panel as well. Really, that would be a fun one to paint. He's cooling down after destroying the mighty one-eyed giant. And he's back in the village and everyone's praising him. Hooray, he did it. He slayed the giant. Slain. He'd slain the giant. They're all cheering. There's confetti and flowers falling around. There's all the people like, thank you, yay, good job, hooray, he did it, smiling. And that's the little girl he saw at the beginning. And the elder's like, Viking, may the gods bless you as you've blessed us. That's just like a cool looking sort of panel, the contrast and shit, yeah. And then this chick's here, she's got a flower wreath or whatever, like those Hawaiian lei things. Puts it on him. He's got like flowers and he's having a drink. Look, smiling gun Viking. You don't see that very often. Everyone's drinking, everyone's happy. Flowers and confetti. This kid's dressed like a flower. But then he's like, oh no, what's happening? His arm, the black veins, it's shaking. The power's coming back. Oh no, the power's controlling him. He's grabbed the villagers by the necks and the heads. They're all running away in terror. Oh no, this one's falling over. Fuck, he's going to fuck them up. Confetti's still falling, but four-armed gun Viking. And that's the end of the comic. Which, frankly, I think is really fucking good. I'm so happy with how this came out. Considering it was all done in one day. And I've had this story in my head for a while. It was kind of a challenge doing like a black and white gun Viking. As I've said, I probably said last week as well, how inking gun Viking, I'm so like messy with it in general. I just draw the quick shapes because it doesn't matter because I paint over it. So when it comes to like having to draw it neat because it needs to look a certain way, it has to have a certain consistent quality to it. It's a real challenge there. Not impossible, clearly. I seem to have done it okay. And there's a few points I'm still learning, constantly learning, of like some things that work, some things that don't. Like this, it was cool at the time. On reflection, it maybe should be lighter here and darker here, but whatever. But ultimately, I can't say too much bad about it because the fact is, I completed a full 24-page comic in a day, in a full 24-hour day. So that's pretty fucking good. How many people could say they've done that, huh? You know, sometimes it's weeks and I've done 2 or 3 pages. Like Zilla, for instance, took me a few months to get through, gradually, bit by bit. But I did this shit in a day, man. And like I say, it was the whole time, it was pretty smooth going. Wasn't too hard. I reckon, I do reckony-roo, I could manage this once a month. I reckon I could. So it took, a couple of days beforehand, I had a basic, very, very basic, like bullet point write-up of what I need to put. I had sections of pages, so I had them separated into 8 pages, like 3 sections of 8 pages. So the first, second and third act. Because the first act is him fighting and losing against the giant. The second act is him going off to find this new power. And then the third act is he's got the new power, he fights the giant again, saves the day, and then there's the funny twist, not twist ending, but the funny ending of him fucking up the villagers. So I wrote out what needs to go where, then I thumbnailed it all. Do you want to see my thumbnails? My thumbnails, I spent quite a bit of time on them, and I know the rules of like the traditional 24-hour comic are you make it all up on the spot, but fuck that, I don't care. So I had it all thumbnailed. It's almost exactly as it is here. It's because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing. I didn't want to, because like I say, it's so different inking everything as I have done. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing so I didn't fuck up and have to restart pages. That was my worst sort of fear, almost, was having to redo it, but like get 2/3 or 3/4 or almost finish a page and be like, fuck, I have to redo this. This is not what I want at all. But that didn't happen because I planned it all out. So, yeah, I'd take a day or 2 to plan it all out. As long as I've got the story in my head, it should all go well enough to plan. And then I can put out one of these, not necessarily one a month, but like I figure I've got the next book of Gun Viking in my head that carries on from the first full graphic novel. So I can maybe start doing that next month. It will be different, obviously. It'll be black and white, so it'll be like a whole separate thing. But that's kind of cool in a way. And then I can release it as a black and white comic. I'll release each issue individually and then collect them all when I've got enough. Because they are their own 24-hour comics, so that's a special thing to have collected. And then somewhere later down the line, I could paint them and have the painted version available as well. But yeah, really, really pretty fucking happy with how that came out. I've got it scanned in. I've added speech bubbles here and there. I'm just getting it ready for print, and then I'll send it off to the printer to get printed. This is going to be the front cover with Gun Viking here and like a 24-hour thing here saying this is a 24-hour comic. And then I think I'm going to use like probably that as like the inside front cover, and then a bit of text saying this was made on this day from 24 hours, 1 page an hour, blah, 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 blah. And then the comic, and then something for the inside back cover, and something else for the back cover. I'll just use blown up panels, I think, for those. All black and white, ready to go. That's really, really fucking good. I've got other things to show. It's a big show and tell episode today. There's no drawing involved. It's all showing you things because lots of things have shown up around the same sort of time. So what have we got now? Whoa, we've got bloody this. Wow! It came. It finally came. Just like I did just before making this video. It's here. It's the fucking Zilla comic. Look at that. Fucking look at it. It's so good. Bit bigger than your standard comic. This is average comic book size. It's A4, which is what I wanted because it's truer to the original version of Zilla. And it keeps the original size of the drawings. This is the exact size that I drew all the drawings at. So all the artwork in here is actual size. So that's fucking cool. I don't know, part of me wants to like do a compare it to the original. Look at that. Vaguely similar, but like so different. But I might do like a separate video, like a short sort of 5-10 minute video comparing it to the original, because that might be, and that can be used as like a promotional thing, because this is now on sale. This is available now. If you go to ewan.com, go to the store, this is there to buy. £5, 5 British pounds. It's really, really cool. I really like it. When man's hubris meets its accident-prone nature, unimaginable disaster strikes as scientific experimentation for the progression of humanity takes a turn for the worse and threatens the very fabric of life as we know it. Also, a mouse. Zilla by Ewan. ewan.com. I originally made this comic in 2010, inspired by a print I saw in a gallery. The comic was trashy and thrown together and incredibly dumb, but fun. A recreation of that inspiring print. That's quite cool. And now I've remade it. I've mostly stayed true to the original story, but updated the artwork, and it's still as dumb as it was, but still fun. Ewan. For the art heads, pretty much all the art in here is made with ballpoint pen, with a few bits of other inks here and there, and a little paint. The cover is acrylics, spray paints, and ink, as it is. Fucked up a little bit here. Missed like a slither of the image because it's two separate images for the cover. They get put together, and I fucked up a little, but it's barely noticeable, isn't it? Whatever. But yeah, I'm really fucking happy with how that came out. And then title page, Zilla by Ewan, 2021. Nice destroyed car. And then it's the fucking comic, man. Is this all on screen? Cool. Yeah, I won't read through it. I mean, I've been through it with you enough, showing you, comparing it to the original and stuff. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this has come out. This arrived today. Like, it's Thursday as I'm recording this. I got these home maybe an hour ago. Unboxed them, made sure I had my phone charged to record this. Got them up on my store straight away. And it's really cool. I really, really like this. The quality's cool. You can see all the artwork. The mouse in the background doing his thing. Oh, he's smiling at the cloud and the cloud's smiling back. That came out, I mean, there's a white line, but that's whatever, but almost perfect. The double page spread. The army getting involved. And the Hulk pages came out really cool. I really like those. I was this much worried that, because I've seen similar things happen, that I'd get contacted by the printer to be like, listen, this is, I mean, you've changed it, but it's copyrighted artwork from Marvel. Like, I can't print it. I was worried that could happen because I've seen people try to print business cards and things in like university using artwork that was, they'd drawn it, but it was basically another person's artwork that they just copied, and they got contacted by the printer to say, we can't print these business cards because this is too similar to, you know, this pre-existing artwork. So I was ever so slightly worried he'd say, this is great, but I can't print this because of this. But nothing like that. So I've got somebody else's Hulk comic in my comic, but it's transformative, isn't it? I've changed all the language, I've changed the context of what it is. It's parody, it's fucking commentary, I don't know, whatever. Get me the Hulk. But Hulk wants to save them, but he can't because Mickey Mouse is a bastard. The heads of the Simpsons, Marvel and Star Wars franchises. Bastard mouse that he is. Bash, smash, crash, roar. The paint came out really nice. Really like that. Shall we just quickly, look, that's the original spread. Painted in colour just because of whatever. And that's the new one. Amazing, amazing. I was really happy with this. I know I've talked about all the artwork already. Oh, look here, he's got like, you know, Zero, the skate brand, the skull, and it says zero under it. He's got that, but it says naught, like a zero. Anus, baby. It says baby on the baby, just in case you were unaware. It's gone. This may be our chance to get a plan together. Where's that music? If you don't turn that music off. Hey, sound. Get him. Fucking guess. Yes. Get him. Yes. To be continued. And that's the end. And this is one of my favourite bits, which I don't think I've shown off yet. It's one of my favourite bits of the whole comic. It's this. Join in on the latest hot trend. Have real mice grafted onto your ears. Wow! Log on to ewan.com for more information. The mice love it. The smiling mouse. Copyright is evil, property is theft. Copy, steal, burn it all to the ground. Yes! Some artwork, a couple pages from the classic original comic in there. And just some random drawings and stencil and thing. An ear study I did previously. That was, done for this little study before these. They're all different ears. They were all drawn from different photos of people's ears. No two are the same. I really like this. It's really cool as well because it's a photo. It's so like, it looks like an advert in the back of a comic book rather than just something I've drawn. So I'm really happy with that because that was the original. Give me your money and have real mice grafted onto your ears. And it's like this bad drawing of this guy smiling with his thumb up with little mice hanging off of his ears. Holy smokes, with those mouse ears, I think I look even cooler than I actually am. The mice love it. And it's supposed to be like a pasted mouth over the mouse. No, really, give me your money, all of it. And that became that. I think I did really well to Photoshop it. Not necessarily well, but to Photoshop the mouse on his ear with the pasted mouth over the mouse. I'm really, really happy with that. I'm really happy with that as a whole, as a thing, man. So I've got a couple hundred copies of that ready to fucking go. Buy them, man. Buy them now. I don't have too much more to say about that. So I've got something else to show. So that arrived today. Something else that also arrived today is this? What a grand fucking male day. A day for the males, for the men. Man Day! Yeah, what a good fucking time, man. That was great, because I've been going to my mailbox, my P.O. box. Let me just have a drink real quick. I've been going to my mailbox a couple of days a week for the last few weeks to be like, have they shown up yet? Have they shown up yet? Have they shown up yet? Have they shown up? Well, the last 2 weeks, I guess, since these came out. And nothing. And then I go today thinking, I've got to do my podcast today. I want to have stuff to show. Get my Zilla comics. I finished my 24-hour comic, got my Zilla comics, and then these show up as well. My copies of The Intergalactic Adventures of Zach Ridley, Volume 2, Sins of the Past, number 1. Sharman and McLaughlin. It's a full fucking thing. Look at that. Zach on the back. It's got a barcode. It's got an ISBN. This is an official thing that exists out in the world. How fucking cool is that? Look at it. Look at it all. All the artwork inside. Written by Ian Sharman, art by Ewan McLaughlin. That's me. Fucking cool, man. It's got all the text on it. Came out real nice. And these, I think it's just the publisher, Marcosia, the publishers. They publish slightly smaller than average comic book size. It's about the same width, but a little bit shorter, maybe an inch shorter, which is quite cool. I like that. With things like Gun Viking, I like it being comic book size, because that's what I wanted to do, was make a comic book that would fit in with other comic books. And that's what the 24-hour one will be. It'll be shrunk down a little bit to fit the average comic book size, and then that way it will fit in with the rest of the Gun Viking comics. I like having bigger comics for things like Zilla, because it's Zilla, it's giant monsters, so it feels right to have it a little bit bigger. It might not fit in like a bag or a box with the rest of your comic collection, so sorry, but tough shit. But you know, this is bigger than average comic book size, so that doesn't fit in those spaces. So fuck it, that happens sometimes. But it's also nice to have slightly smaller comics, you know, like manga. They're small, and this is neat. This is a nice little comic book size, and it's cool to see the artwork adapted to a slightly smaller size. Not too much smaller, because I don't paint huge, obviously, but yeah, it's really cool to see, man. So we've got Zach Ridley. So we open on the spaceport, which is a giant hand of this giant Titan robot in this moon. Here's a mistake that I don't know if anyone will notice. There's Zach Ridley's ship outside the spaceport, and then when they go to it later on, it's inside the spaceport. So, but look, there's a cow with a space helmet on. Spaceway, like Subway, but in space. Flam. So they're in this spaceport getting some food, having a sandwich. This was a fun one to draw. There's like a squid in the tank. He's got blue mess on his hands. It says wash you. The menu is pretty fun. Just weird things. A pig and a guy having lunch. This guy sucking a straw through his eye. What? This fly man. He's playing with his food, or is his food playing with him? His sandwich has got like an eyeball and legs and shit. And they come out of the spaceport, or the diner or whatever, and he's got a message on his thing. It's a hologram. Hey Zach, one of your pals has been nicked. She's been kidnapped. Oh my god, I'm on my way. And she's like, but we've got shit to do. And he's like, we're getting food and then we're gonna fucking go. And she's like, but we've got to do this. And he's like, you fucking listen here, you goddamn bitch. All mad and shit. This was fun to do. Going through the spaceport to the ship. See, there it is, inside the spaceport. I don't know. I drew this panel years ago, originally. So, I mean, I adapted it, I guess, but didn't actually. To the short stay docks, not the long-term stay, but the short stay docks that way. All the little details, they were fun to draw, fun to paint. Graffiti in the background, I like doing that stuff. Oh no! Some blue chick is at our ship. What's going on with a gun in his face? Oh, it's an old friend. She gives him a kiss on the cheek. There. He's on his phone. He's got a little, like, cat phone. It's funny. God, I love all the little details. Aren't I amazing? All the little details I put in. Little spacemen and people with big heads. Oh no, shit's getting serious. It's Dad, he's been kidnapped. Oh no, everyone's getting kidnapped. What the fuck? Meanwhile, back on New Earth. Ah! You know what they're saying, Herr President. It is having to hurt to heal ya. He's got robot legs, what the fuck? He got shot in the leg in the first book. He was going to kill... He was about to shoot this chick in the face, this girl, this female, this woman in the face. And then Zach Ridley showed up, blasted through the window and shot this cunt in the leg. And he's like the president or whatever. And so now he's got robot legs. Mr. Beckham, your 4 o'clock is here. Ah, good. Space ninjas, just what the doctor ordered. Space ninjas, bam, bam! Space ninjas, we prefer the Honourable Order of Interplanetary Assassination. I'm sure you do. Kill these fuckers. We live to serve. Now be gone. They already are, sir. Puff. The space ninjas vanish. They were fun to draw. That's one thing I really liked about all of this is I had pretty much creative freedom for the whole thing. I get a script and I say, cool, and then I draw it. I didn't even have to send off like thumbnails and be like, is this okay? Is this okay? It was completely like, they obviously trust me enough after doing the whole first book to be like, yeah, do it, make it happen. And then I sent Ian the art and he was like, cool, brilliant, perfect, that's amazing. And, you know, because I'm just that good. You've got an interview, but you can't go out looking like that. Aha, that's why I had this made. Ba, 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 ba. It's a fully articulate and autonomous android replica of me. So he's got like Barbie and Ken doll connections in his arms and neck where he's been clicked together. That's how you tell in this world that I came up with. That's how you tell the androids from the people, is they've got the neck joint. You can see it on him, Dan the android. He's got a line across his neck where his head's screwed into his neck. Is there many more pictures of him? There's a few. Yeah, you can see the line there. Looks a little bit like a choker, but it's not. It's his neck joint. This was fun. I really enjoy playing with the colour in these books. Like I try to make every part have separate colours. So they're in this space station that's all like orange, reddish orange. So the backgrounds are all reddish orange, so they all fit together. Yeah, it's a cohesive chapter or whatever. And in this place, the sky's sort of purpley blue, the carpet's pink, so it's all pinks and purples, blues with a little bit of turquoise in there, just because it's nice. And then this is like the Callaghan Rift, a pocket dimension in which faster than light travel is possible. This was fun to paint as well. I based that on like marbling water effect, kind of. That's quite cool. And so I changed it from the first book, was just like this shit out the window and then a bit of turquoise light on them. But I thought it was much more atmospheric to make them all just bathed in this turquoise light, so it's all painted just in turquoise or green or whatever. So that was fun. And then these pages, I couldn't be fucked because I knew it was like 3 or 4 pages. Is it? Yeah, 3-4 pages of that. And I couldn't be fucked to paint all of that colour. So I just did it black and white ink, photoshopped the colour in there, which is, you know, I don't do digital colour, so it was very much sort of like, this will probably work, with a few fades and some white bits taken out and stuff. Kept the painted panel here, just because. But I think it works, I'm really happy with it, especially in print. It's always cool to see it in print. I think it works, it's nice, I like it, I'm happy with it. And then, again and again and again, and then the painted panel put in there. So I did just those 2 panels as they come out from hyperspace to this planet to Hope's Last Rest, a hive of scum and villainy. Oh, as hives of scum and villainy go, this one is pretty wretched. It's the sort of place people go to disappear. These are always fun to paint, the stars and the space mist, planets and shit. Other ships going to and from the place. That was a pain in the arse to draw and paint this. I'm somewhat happy with it, but whatever. the cityscape as they're flying over it. As they come into the docks. Details, little people and dogs around. Oh yeah, so he's saying, this is Zach Ridley requesting permission to land. And then his friend Dan is like, sir, is it wise to broadcast your arrival on an open channel? He goes, man, you see what your problem is? You're such a worry. Zap! Wow! Yow, rather. Yow! They're shooting at him. Zach Ridley, dead or alive, you're coming with me, this bounty hunter guy. Zap! Yow! See, it's like a mirroring. It's like poetry. It rhymes. And they're having a little shootout. Pew, 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 pew. Get under cover. Maybe I should get a gun? Damn it, he's a slippery one. Pew, pew, pew. I mean, they say that. All he's doing is hiding behind this box. More graffiti in the background. We like that. It's fun to do. He's a slippery one. Really? Pew. Ow. He's got a hole in him. Oh, my God. He didn't seem much trouble to me. And he's like, what? Damn, you killed that fucker. And she's like, yeah, I did. Pew. Okay, let's go. They're all leaving. And he's laying on the ground there being shot with these people around him like, ooh, what the fuck? This is quite funny. Just follow me and try to blend in. And the girl's like, and how am I supposed to blend in with scum like this? And then they're all looking at her all angry. Like, by not saying stuff like that out loud, for one. Which isn't really the thing to do when you go to another planet, is to be like, these people are all scum. Nice. Look at the billboards. There's a Klein bottle and it says it's good enough. Spudge Flug. And Dread 2, finally. That's funny. Maybe a change of clothes would make us a little more inconspicuous. Good thinking, doll. Don't call me doll unless you want to lose an eye. At least you're in the right place to buy an eye patch. Because this whole planet is like the space pirate planet. But what's this? Overwatching them. It's a space ninja. Oh my God. What's going on? Pew pew, a short time later, a little later. They're all pirated out. Are we done playing dress up now? He's got a funny little one-eyed parrot on his shoulder. Captain Zach. They're all enjoying their efforts. She's really hot. I like that. I did minimal pirate clothing research. You know, corset and the shirt and boots and stuff. Trousers in his shirt is quite cool. She's wearing whatever. I don't know if that's really pirate clothes. And that I made him take the hat off because I couldn't be fucked to draw him with the hat every panel. But he's got a hook on his hand, you know, like a fake hook. So they're walking through the streets talking, and then it zooms out, and you see space ninjas and more space ninjas and more space ninjas on the rooftops. Oh my God. And then just him saying something stupid and him being like, you're no help at all. Sometimes I'm sorely tempted to have your memory wiped, because he's an android. A little parrot on his shoulder. As much as I hate to interrupt this wonderfully awkward little moment, we're here. Oh, this awkward little moment, we're here. Pointy point at. Welcome to the old Rum Chuggers Good Time Emporium. Pew, Rum Chuggers. Big sort of space pirate, fucking, I don't know, booze house, burlesque brothel thing. Look, these people sat at a table and this one's fallen off his chair and these two are laughing at him. And a big-titted space waitress. A mysterious guy. This guy, he's got like a one-eyed owl head and he's turned his head all the way round like an owl does. That's cool. People drinking, hanging out the windows with big-titted ladies. Funny worm people, I don't know. And then like a big space monkey mermaid sculpture statue thing at the top of the building. SpongeBob billboard. Neon lights, that's cool. I was happy with that. That's the one that, like, I'd done all the artwork and then weeks and weeks passed and I hadn't done this page because that's like, how do I... It's not even as detailed as I'd like it to be, but it's good enough at least. There's a lot to it. Just random people. Whatever. And then, so that's the first chapter of the second book. And then there's this, which is, this story takes place before the events of the Intergalactic Adventures of Zach Ridley, Volume 1, Number 1, and is presented here in full colour for the first time. So this is like a 6-page prequel I did. So it goes this 6-page prequel, then the first book, then this chapter of the second book. And yeah, it's in full colour because that was originally... For this, which is like a compilation of short story comics all by these people, Ian Sharman and such. I don't know if they're all written by Ian Sharman or they're all by different people or whatever. But yeah, but I might have been told, I've probably said this 100 times already, but I might have been told and just completely forgot that it was going to be black and white. So when I did the artwork, I did it in colour, and then it was printed and it came out in black and white, and I was like, oh no! So loads of it's really muddy because I used colour to differentiate certain parts. Whereas if I'd known, if I'd kept in mind and remembered it was going to be black and white, there would have been more contrast and it would have looked a bit better in black and white. So it's a bit of a shame. So like this, you can see almost nothing. It's just a mess. You just sort of have to guess that like, this is this, that's that. And here I put effort into like the coloured lights and stuff, and that's completely gone. So it was cool, a little bit of a shame, but whatever. But now in colour for the first time is this. So this is them. They've got a job to do. They show up at the... I'm a little bit unsure on this. The place is called New Vegas, like NU Vegas, New Vegas. Obviously, Fallout New Vegas is a thing, so I don't know. It's cool. It's whatever. It is different, but I don't know. I don't know what that is. I mean, I say, I'm not saying, oh, he's just copied the name. That's not my issue. My issue is I don't know if it's... Is that allowed? I'm not suggesting he copied it, but is it allowed? Are you allowed to call your place New Vegas if there's a thing called New Vegas? Look at the snail with antennas. So they show up at this place, neon lights. See, you can just about see what's going on here. And then here, see all the coloured lights on these characters, completely lost in the black and white version. So they get a taxi to go to this place, and the place has got giant stairs. So he has to climb up the stairs like they're fucking giant rocks or something. They go into this building. The reception desk is enormous. They're looking up at it. And the receptionist is like, yeah, just fucking wait over there. So they wait on the seat. And then he sinks down and falls asleep. That was a fun little thing to do. And these guys show up with medical supplies. Medical supplies. Oh. And he's like, I said no talking. He wakes up, gives his thumbprint, and they carry the medical supplies out to the street, get a taxi to get on their way. And then continued in the first book. Because that's the starting point of the first book. Is they're delivering these medical supplies, but then shit goes down, some people are there, some cultists, they kill themselves, and they're like, what the fuck's going on? They open the box, it's actually weapons. Oh my god, I've just spoiled it for you. Oh my god. Oh well. And so that's a nice little 6-page prequel to the first book, which is quite cool. Printed in this book. I like this. This is really cool. It's come out really nice. The artwork's come out really nice. I'm really happy with it. You need this. Buy this now. Amazon. Go onto Amazon or just Google Zach Ridley and you'll find it. You can get hold of the first book, which is cool. I was about to say I don't recommend it. I do. I recommend you buy it and you give them your money. But be aware that the artwork isn't necessarily up to my current standard. It was so long ago. That's why it was cool to redo it. Well, not redo it, but start on new Zach Ridley stories. Because I enjoy painting and drawing these characters and the world and stuff. And it's cool. I'm helping basically invent the world, like how it looks and little details and stuff that are in there. All the designs are all mine, bar like a basic description of a few things. So it's a lot of fun to do. And I'm really happy with like pretty much all the artwork in here. But it's just when people see this and then they go, oh, cool, I'll check out the first book. And I'm like, oh, no. They're going to look at it and they're going to see it. And even then, I've looked through it, the first book, more recently. Because something else has shown up, which I'll show next week. Because I don't want to spill all of my loads right now. I've shown enough this week. So next week, I've got something else, something Zach Ridley related to show. So I've been looking through it, and it's not that bad. It's just me, as everyone who does artwork knows. You look at your old stuff and you just think it's awful, and you'd never want to see it again. And then other people look at it and go, "This is really cool. I really like it." And you're like, "You're an idiot. You fucking idiot." But yeah, man, such a cool mail day. So cool that they all showed up. All my Zilla comics for sale now. This is available now. Look for the purple cover. And that's so. This 24-hour comics. Hopefully, everyone buys this, and that will make me some money. And then hopefully, everyone buys this new Gun Viking content, and it's 24 hours. You need to buy this when it's available, because it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a really cool book, a really cool comic, and also, my hope is that doing that will give me the time and the money to do more of this, because I really want to get the next full book of this done. There's at least 2 more chapters of script written that I can be drawing and painting. So hopefully, yeah, I can sell these, make enough money that I don't have to worry for the rest of the month, so I can spend time working on other things like this, and then next month do the same. September or October 6th, start on a new 24-hour Gun Viking story. Get that done, get it printed, get it sold, make enough money to be able to spend the rest of the month working on other things like this. And other books, and more painted Gun Viking, and other stories. I've got other ideas for other things. This was cool. I could do more things like this. I'm really enjoying doing just drawn black and white comics. I figure what I might be able to do is take a 24-hour period and get that 6-page Judge Dredd strip done. Start to finish. 24 hours, 6 pages. Easy. Fucking easy. That's like 4 hours per page, man. That's fucking easy. So that'd be cool. But yeah, really, really great mail day today. Zilla Comics, Zach Ridley. Seen the 24-hour comic. Good shit, man. Good shit. Buy it. Look on Amazon. Go to my website. And I hope you're all good and enjoyed today. Guess I was a bit eager there. There was no raffle last week. As I've said, the raffles are getting a little bit with only a handful of people commenting. But fuck it. Raffle this week. There is a raffle this week. You can win a copy of Zilla. Fuck it. I'll sign it if you want. If you're into that, I've never been too fussed about signed stuff, unless it's by very specific people. But yeah, I'm giving away. Fuck it, maybe I'll choose 2 or 3 people to give copies away to. And I got these as well. I forgot. These ones came out a little bit dark, which is kind of annoying, but they're still pretty cool. They were stickers. It was Zilla stickers. I did these specifically to give away with the comic. So I think I've got like 60 of each. So like the first 60 copies, they'll get free stickers in them. And that will include the raffled ones that I give away. Man. So yeah, leave a comment during this week on the Patreon, the video on the Patreon page, or on the video on the YouTube. Something, anything. You all have fun leaving horrible, horrible words in the comments, so do more of that, I guess. And you can get a free copy of this. But also, go to my store and buy it anyway, and have multiple copies. Because, you know, bitch gotta eat!